half, and Fusion is gonna be the one to find the miss, but meanwhile, the United States off the back of Kalenjak and Delete will
Hi,
be carrying a
my name is Gamilie Crayola, or Gami Crayola for short, and you guys might know me either as a 6-digit D ranker, because those exist, or a OS caster. Recently, pretty big shifts have been happening in my career as a commentator, not just in OS, but in the other game that I specialize in. Won't get too much into that, but to celebrate these big shifts, my dear friends Munamu and Aquatic, who are in VC with me right now actually, got me a new mic. This new mic is a HyperX Quadcast, so it is going to be replacing my old microphone, so I'm definitely hoping that my mic definitely does not peak as much. I'm mainly making this video, and it's sort of a new thing for me. I mean, I've never done a quote-unquote highlight reel before my casting, but you know, my ego kind of needs it. I'm making this video to properly send off an entire era of my casting. I think after the 6-digit World Cup, I definitely grew a lot as a caster. I learned a lot from many different people, so take this cast as sort of my avant-garde revelation, as you may, of my modern cast, and hopefully you'll be able to pick apart a bit of my casting style. Of course, it's very unrefined. There are still a lot of mistakes. I'm far from, you know, the likes of Dio or T1G or whatever, but I hope that this video serves as a signpost for the future, so that, you know, maybe in a few months or maybe even years later, I can look back and go, damn, I used to suck. But without further ado, please enjoy the... Oh man.
That's right, we are going into the final K of the match. This map bursts its final glacier. Miss Drop finds a miss. The Philippines do not have any room for error at this juncture. The blazing duet of Kalenjak and Delete are just continuing the onslaught against the Philippines relentlessly. Zavi might hold, but it doesn't matter. What do you have? You have Kalenjak and Delete unrelenting towards the very end. 8X might have that recovery, but at the end of the day, what do you even do against a double FC from the United States? On everything will freeze. And move into this last quarter with confidence, and the flow aim comes in. Nobody gets tripped by it whatsoever. Zavi, Camus, Marco still holding strong, but 8X is not going to be able to find any sort of recovery. Marco, however, does find a miss, an eye for an eye. Kalenjak and Delete now, it's a 2v2. Never mind, a 1v2 and a 0v2 as the last beacons of hope for the Philippines on this Hara 1 fall. Delete and Kalenjak, the unstoppable duo. They can't keep doing this.
But there's still plenty of map here for either of these FCs to break, and Kalenjak is the one to find the break, going to the next section here.
Yeah, that's right, and Delete as well. All combos on the side of the United States have fallen. Creep crafting left the fan against Zavi, Junior Origami, and Raiden Yuna. We're going to the last KI. Here's where the sliders start to kick in. Junior Origami finds the miss, and creep crafting goes down. There is no defense left for the Philippines as Zavi races ahead. Raiden Yuna might fall, but who else? At the end of the day, you cannot beat the hidden hard rock on Zavi, and he's looking to take it all the way. What are we doing what are we doing? Camus, Marco, and Rajin Yuna aren't looking too hard. We move into the speed up section, and here's where miracles can be made. If Junior Origami finds a miss, if 8X finds a miss, that might just be enough for Sparkle, but the same goes for him. Sparkle cannot afford any room of error. Junior Origami goes down, and 8X is the only one left to toy, but Sparkle holds till the very end, but it will not be enough. 8X Vendrike denies Sparkle. He says no, but Yura finding a miss as we move into the next K. I'm not gonna do them any favors whatsoever, and the window of opportunity for Zabi to claw his way back is getting thinner and thinner. June finds the miss as well, and Delete and Kalenjak unrelenting in their pursuit. Kalenjak goes down, but there's not enough combo for the Philippines to come back. His country might crumble beneath him, but Delete refuses to go down. The United States will be putting a firm halt to the Filipino momentum with an FC from Delete to shut down Zavi. And that is gonna be devastating for the United States, as now the Philippines have 3 combos, 3 FCs to their name alongside the support from Fusion. Oh, but it seems as though that was a bancho miss from Sparkle, and now suddenly we're back in the game. But Philippines, without a doubt, are still pulling a hit. But the United States are gonna pull it right back with those double miss from Camo Smuckle and Idex Mindrike. Now Xavi is the only one left to fend. Once again, the last beacon of hope for the Philippines. But it's not gonna be enough as the United States race ahead with 3 SCs to their name. What are we doing? Trapping Sparkle in a corner. The only sort of large combo from the States. Cuckoo might be behind him, but it's nowhere near enough to match up against the 3-way dominance from the Philippines as we move into this last quarter of the map. There is not going to be much time left for the United States to bring it back. And Wilweb, this is what we were talking about. DTs are so divisive. Sparkle finds the miss. Cuckoo, the only one left to fend for the US. Europe might find a miss, but Kalenjak and Delete be dead. Idex Mindrike and Xavi are gonna be your carries for this double time too. Delete now has both the combo and the accuracy to make the difference. Idex sees the score and we're locked into a final duo. Delete aims his gun. He fires. Delete shooting the golden bullet right into the heart of the Philippines. And he's looking to go all the way into the last quarter of the map. The question is whether he'll be able to secure the bag for the United States. We move into the last quarter. Anything can happen. The scoreline shifts over. It's a 20k scoring and growing. The last sliders of the map come in. And as Delete continues to trudge ahead, we're going 570 combo and counting. Last quarter of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the game that we're playing. The loyal, the unwavering, the faithful shall be rewarded. The world thought the Philippines couldn't be stopped. It's time to change your minds. For the first time, the USA have drawn blood against what seemed like the unfathomable. As we push into the bracket reset, they tore through Indonesia, and now they're looking for the Philippines. Whoa, things are getting close. Never say never. A bunch of chain misses coming in from Houston. 30k, it's going down. It's gonna be incredibly close to the wire, but a few misses from Pez, a few misses from Orange Goose. It's just gonna be barely enough to keep the score towards the green side. Chain misses. It's all about the chain misses now. All about these incredibly dense patterns. And the scoreline shifts over in favor of the 51st state off the back of Rage Muffin and Orange Goose's minuscule but significant scorelines. And by the skin of their teeth, they like those odds. They emerge victorious on this No Mod 4. What a way to win a point. Yeah, that's right. Pez, the only one left to fend against the 3 large combos, the 4 large combos coming from China Bushberry. However, GS Booty is going to slow down the bleeding, but that scoreline is going to continue to climb towards that right side. We move into the KI, and this is where it's a more finger controlling section. Aheo is going to be the first one to succumb on the left side, but meanwhile, Funky Corn and Orange Goose both fall. Godskin Noble Pez, the only one left on the 51st state to even begin to hold a combo, but with more and more misses coming in from Aheo, GS Boti, and now Houstronaut. It might just be enough. Reed Horimiya, the last vestige of China Bushberry, trying to hold out for as long as they can. Moving into the second half of the map, no one on the 51st state is really sort of exercising this comfort. Funky Kong and Rage Muffin both finding misses. It really just is the Pez show. This is the mechanics maniac that we've been talking up about. It's all about the shred now, and Reed Horimiya is still toe-to-toe against Pez, and Pez falls. Reed Horimiya emerged victorious in the war of attrition. He emerges, he plants down that flag on the 51st state as Orange Goose falls. 1k combo for Reed Horimiya going into that last third. Everyone in the lobby slowly trying to build up their combos. Houston not finding an uncharacteristic miss. Gonna build a bit more tension going into this next KI, but I think the last section, the last of the map is just as intense, if not even more intense than everything that we've seen before. Caleb Sir going to trade up that miss from Houston, and now it's 3 large combos to 3 on both sides. Water slowly, sort of lagging behind, but I mean, if a miss comes in for Lurvin, Aheo, and Shakir, I'd like to remind you guys, it's a 50k scoreline separating both of these teams. It is still doable. Water, however, finds a miss. That's not gonna do the 51st state any sort of favors whatsoever. 500 coming in from China Bushberry. Aheo finds the miss, but so does Funky Kong. Once again, Pez left the fend against the Q and Luramin right now, and Pez is just staring down the double barrel 95. But Luramin and Shaq both go down, but they take Pez down with them, and with that, China Bushberry, as we mentioned, Willem, you don't pick hidden into this team. As we move into the last quarter, the free combo section of the map, Willem, this is so dangerous.
How is he still holding? This is just an
What are we doing?
phenomenal score from Pez right now. No one else in the lobby even up to that 300k mark. Meanwhile, Pez is still holding that 1000 combo, and the accuracy. Everywhere else just keeps finding misses, but Pez is unscathed and holding that 200k lead for his team right now as we get into the last section of the map. And this is just looking so dire for China Bushberry right now.
Oh my goodness, the 51st state. I gotta take this match to match point on China Bushberry's own pick. Godskin Noble finally finds the miss, but that is more than enough. Godskin Noble fires the golden bullet straight into China Bushberry and takes them all the way. Square try as he may. 500 combos. Q-Shador, try as they may. But at the end of the day, Pez says it is not enough. Holy crap, when the dust settles, Pez is the one to hold.
And all eyes on Pez right now. There is just no combo on the side of China Bushberry to contest this at all. And it's just a matter of how long he can hold. We're halfway into the map and he is still holding that FC with a 100k score lead, which is massive on a tiebreaker like that. We're really going to need to see an absolute meltdown, but just all eyes on Pez right now.
As the theme of extra judgment fills the room, the question now is, will anyone be able to stand up against the dominance that Pez is putting on show? It's gonna be that question moving into the last half of the map. It's gonna be all up to China Bushberry, and the last KI of the map kicks in. It's gonna be down to the very end, and Pez is still gonna continue to hold. Squarem and Aheo try as they may. It is not enough. Rage Muffin as well, cancelling out any sort of attack. Aheo falls. Squarem, the last one to fend, but Pez 1.6k combo and counting. Last quarter of the map. Somebody stop this man. Someone check his VC, because at the end of the day, when Squarem finds the miss, Pez sits upon a throne of no other. Rage Muffin, his royal advisor, right there to back him up. Once he falls, finally goes down, but it is a 200k scoreline in favor of the 51st state, and I don't want to call it too soon, but I think it's a done deal, signed, sealed, and delivered for the 51st state. They have shown that they are inevitable. They've done it once, and they are looking to do it again. In round of 16, they crushed the China Bush, and they're looking to do it once more. They stomp on the Brussels of the China Bushberry. They stomp on their hopes and dreams. The wildfire of the 51st state is gonna incinerate them to ashes, as I pronounce to you. The winner, the champion of the second iteration of the Sugar Rush series will be off the back of Pez and Rage Muffin, the 51st state.
Oh my goodness gracious. What is this score from Pez?
Who put an OWC player in my tournament? who put a... We go to the speed up, and here's where the ship misses come in. The bus sliders are incredibly easy to slip up on, and Inex Vendrike, what we thought was a player gapped on Gimmick, is gonna be the last bastion of hope for the Philippines as Sparkle pushes in as he always does for the US. It is neck and neck, but Sparkle is gonna be the one to find the miss at the beginning of that startup, but the Philippines isn't quite out of the clear just yet. Kalenjak knocking on their door, but Kalenjak goes down, and Inex Vendrike is gonna be the last one to hold. What a demoniacal performance from what seemed to be a player who hated Gimmick in the past. Run.
Absolutely, yeah. The score lead is 75k going into the second half of the map, and the Friend Lights does have that recovery combo, but he's gonna need to hold on to it if he wants to take the score lead back. The score lead is going back ever so slowly, but there really isn't much of a match left, and the Friend Lights just really has to hold through all of this if he wants to take this back. But a Thorax finding that break actually is going to help that, and the score slips right over as a Friend Lights finds another break.
It's a razor blade on the scoreline once again, as a very, very familiar sight to see. But a Friend Light's going to the end of the map. It's all going to come down to the 100s right now. And a Thorax is going to find the miss, and I think that is going to be the final nail hammered into the back of a Thorax's neck as we rush into the final sections of this map. That's going to be a first point going to a Friend Light. So
The final TI.
yeah, man, full throttle all the way to the very end. This section does not let up whatsoever. In fact, this section only gets harder as a Friend Lights find the miss, and now suddenly Athora has what it takes to bring it all the way back. He's baring his fangs, he smells blood in the water. 300 combo and counting, moving to the last sections of the map. The pendulum switches towards that right side. 10k, 11k, 12k. It's looking like a comfortable score lead for Athora, but any sort of chain miss can matter to the very end. But the chain miss is gonna claim the likes of a Friend Lights, and with that, Athora is gonna steal that break point right back. Oh my goodness, and that's the thing, right? You just can't find a single crack in the armor of South Korea. Plasma, he might be coming to them with a shank, but it's not gonna be enough when they're fully ironclad and completely in the zone. Just across the board, the roster depth, the consistency, and the well-roundedness of the entire South Korean roster is just too difficult for them to muster. But we are going back into, you know, the final sections of the map. I don't want to say that, but it is still possible. 20k, we see more chain misses come in. It might still be doable, but with more and more misses coming to claim the likes of the ranks of the United Kingdom, I don't think there's gonna be anywhere near enough map, anywhere near enough combo for the UK to even begin thinking of this comeback. Plasma can run, but he cannot hide from the three-way surveillance, from the three-way sears of South Korea. And that's gonna be, yet again, another one to stop. Ben, someone needs to stop them. Someone needs to stop them. We move into a bit of a slow section, and I think, well, this is just gonna be enough to throw a Friend Lights over that threshold. But even in the off KIs, this match can trip you up. Athora gonna be the first one to go down to the tapping section. Not what you want to see if you're a Athora fan, as a Friend Lights hits through all of that, but finds a shit miss at absolutely nowhere. And suddenly the scoreline is still competitive. 20k in favor of a Friend Lights. This is definitely still doable for Athora. It's all gonna come down to who can exercise more comfort going into this final third of the map. Here we go. All the tapping patterns. Athora could hit this last time, but unfortunately is not gonna be able to repeat that case in this matchup. As we move into the last KI of Friend Lights and Athora neck and neck in terms of the combo. Athora gonna pull slightly ahead with that miss from a Friend Light. And as we move into the last sections, the FU pattern comes out. Both players, however, find a miss, and misses after misses. These 1-2 punches are just gonna continue to favor a Friend Light as we move into the last few seconds of the map. It's looking rough, especially with more chain misses coming in from the right side. One's left to hold, but Raijin finds the miss, and now Creek Crafting, when the dust settles, is the only one to hold. Can she make the difference? I mean, we're moving into the perfect overlap sections of the map, and she is gonna single-handedly look to bring the score back slowly but surely. Junior Origami not informed to take this point back as he was last time, and that scoreline has shifted in favor of the left side of the scoreboard. Creep Crafting 400 combo and counting. Last quarter of the map, the sparkling dead news shines bright as she continues to race towards the final KI, unrelenting in her resolve. Show when the lights were brightest, the United States did not bend, they did not break, they did not falter. Where were you when the US first ascended to the throne in 2023? Where were you when they fell from grace in 2024? And where were you when they painted the tapestry of the World Cup blue, red, and white? Watch as the most decorated country in Osu history reclaim their throne of ruin and once again prove that they own the finish line. Let us welcome the champions of old back into the Hall of Greatness as I present to you the first country to ever do it again, the United States of America, your 6-digit World Cup champions.
You just see what this map is all about, right? That wide aim on this CS6.5. Somehow Thorax season finally finds
What the fuck? Like, we're not even commentating. We're not even commentating anymore. We're kind of just reaction YouTubers because a thorax man. This is not it. This is not it. I mean, it's already a 60k score line in favor of Sopenna right now.